Book haul day! Yes, I've got a book haul for you. I don't do many of these because I don't buy as many books as all these other massive accounts that have got bottomless bank balances. I was on a book buying ban and I wasn't supposed to be buying books, but then I was missing the dopamine hits because buying books make me happy. So I said to my wife, look, I'm buying books again, but it don't cost me too much because loads of my books come from charity shops, them tables in Tesco where you can chuck money in charity pots and you pick up books that other people have left. I've got a couple of new books in here because I got ambushed at Waterstones and the woman did a fantastic job selling me a book. But at Waterstones, it's buy one, get one half price. So I got a second one because I'm just that kind of guy. I got a couple of ARC reads, so there'll be some books in here that aren't out yet that'll hopefully get you excited. And then that's it. Anyway, I'm going to quick fire through these. So let's just get straight into it. If you've not already subscribed to this page, do it. The Devils by Abercrombie. I'm buzzing for this book. I read my first ever Abercrombie book last month. Was it last month? This month? The Blade itself? Anyway, wicked characters, really deep on personality and how trauma affects a person. I was blown away by his character work. The plot was a little bit slow in book 1 for me, but I still rated it 4-star. I'm told that book 2 and 3 in the First Law trilogy get even better and better and better. Can't wait to dive further into that. I'm expecting phenomenal character work from this series. Now, this is a separate world to the First Law world. I'm excited for this because I feel like I'm not way behind. In the First Law trilogy, I've just started that, and I think there's 11 books, and I just feel overwhelmed. Whereas this, I feel like I can read this, and I'm like, I'm here at the beginning. I don't need to play catch-up. Frustratingly, there's reviews on the back of the book. I hate reviews on the back of books. I hate blurbs on the inside of books. I just want a blurb here. Let me read it. I don't give a crap about these because they're all mates anyway, aren't they? These authors all love each other. They're never going to send this book off to Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson read it and then go, oi, Joe, this is a hot pile of shit. And then the publisher go, oh, I love that. Let's stick that on back of cover. No, they're only going to stick the good reviews on back. So anyway, I'm going to go inside to see what this book's about. Brother Diaz has been summoned to the Holy City where he's certain a commendation and divine assignment await him, but his new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers, practitioners of ghastly magic and outright monsters. The mission he's tasked with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve its righteous ends. Elves lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With a hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. Sounds good. It sounds what I'd expect from a Abercrombie book. It's going to be a band of morally grey people going on a mad mission fighting ugly folk. And there's going to be some mingy battle scenes, some brilliant character work, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know when it's out. I think it might be like May or June this year. Just Google it, The Devils Abercrombie. It says coming summer 2025. I plan on reading this probably next month, and then I'll do a spoiler-free review on here to give people an idea whether they want to read it or not. Next up, we've got another arc. J.D. Kirk, My Daughter is Missing. This is the author of, I think it's called the DCI Jack Logan series. I want to say that's his name. I've only read book 1, which is The Littler of Bones. This is a Scottish crime author. All the books for the police procedural series that I've just mentioned are on Kindle Unlimited. Free. If you've got Kindle Unlimited, just read them. Really cool character. Like dry, witty Scottish humour. Really good, honestly. I highly recommend them. This is a standalone, and this has been sent to me. And they said, look, if we send it you, will you read it and will you review it? I said, if you send it me, if I read it, then I will review it. But I'm not making any promises. And they were happy to send it me on that basis. Then I read the blurb, and it sounded pretty cool. I thought my daughter was safe, but now she's gone. My 9-year-old daughter, Holly, should be leaving school with all the other children, but she's not here. I run frantically, my voice growing louder, but I can't see her anywhere. This is my worst nightmare. A teacher asks if she should call the police, and my heart stops. I shake my head and pretend I've made a mistake, because the police can't know. No one can. I know in my gut, Holly hasn't just wandered off. She's been taken by someone who knows the truth about my past, and I'll stop at nothing to get my little girl back. Sounds cool. I just hope he brings the humour over from his other series into this standalone, because I thought his writing was really cool and it was quite funny. Really enjoyed it. Now, these two were the books that I got sold from Waterstones. This is a book that I picked. You know, do the buy one, get one half price. This was the one where I was like, well, I'm going to have to get another one now because it's half price, and I'd be stupid not to because I'm that kind of guy. Bob Rinder, The Suspect. So the lady had recommended me another book, and then she was like, right, so what are you going to get for your second one? I was like, is that Judge Rinder? She says, yeah, he's written a book. And I was like, I'll have me some of that. Judge Rinder's funny. Like, if you've watched television, Judge Rinder's that camp judge who just has a go at everyone that's naughty. And he's like, you're an idiot. And yeah, I just think he's funny. Like, well, if he's wrote a book, it must be good. Which is not obviously true. That's such stupid logic. Because he might have just used his fame and platform and been like, I'm just going to make a bank here and write a book and hope people buy it because I've got a platform. But she said to me that it's like a courtroom setting. I think they call them legal dramas. And I love them. The other author that does them really well, Steve Kavanagh, the Eddie Flynn series, they're really good legal thriller dramas. If you're into that, where the crimes happen and then you follow in a courtroom procedure rather than an investigation, the Eddie Flynn series by Steve Kavanagh is really good. That's what I'm expecting from this, but probably a bit more cosy. Don't know when I'll read it. It's probably going to be in 6 months or something. I don't know. It'll be like a palate cleanser, that book. This is the book that the lady recommended to me. And this is why I love going to bookshops, because whenever I go to bookshops, I end up walking away with books that I'd probably never buy. I'd never in a million years walk into the shop and look for this. I think it's a retelling on Huckleberry Finn, which I watched years ago. Can't even remember what happened. I think it's about like a runaway slave. And she said this is a retelling from a different character's perspective called Jim, rather than Huck Finn. It says when the enslaved Jim overhears that he's about to be sold to a new owner in New Orleans and separated from his wife and daughter forever, he flees to nearby Jackson Island until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck Finn has faked his own death to escape his violent father, who recently returned to town. So I can't remember the original film, but was Jim in it, and did Jim and Huck meet up? If so, it seems like this is a story from Jim's perspective rather than Huck's perspective. Super excited to read this. It sounds so cool. Next up, we've got a book that was recommended to me by a follower called Madhouse Promenade by Lynn Moore. I believe Lynn Moore is also a content creator. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but I know he's on Instagram. And he's now an author. He's written a book, and I've no idea what it's about. But the front of it, thankfully, wasn't too massive, like the blurb bit. But now I can't find it. This is very awkward. So when I said it's not long, it literally is. There's your blurb. I think this man wants you to go into this book blind. It just says, I'm beginning to learn it's not a burden to let someone love you. No idea what this book's about. I've not even Googled it. I'm going to go into this book so blind. If you've read Madhouse Promenade by Lynn Moore, tell me. Don't spoil it for me, obviously, but just tell me what it's about. These two books, am I excited to show you two books? This entire bag, these are the books I'm most excited to show you. Went into Tesco yesterday, day before yesterday, I think it was the day before, and they've got one of them spinny things where you can spin and look at books, and then if you want one, you can just chuck some pennies in a charity pot. Are you ready for this? I've been looking for these for ages. Tell me you read these when you were a kid. Look at them. Oi, that picture brings back so many memories for me. I've been asked in past where my reading journey started. I always say Harry Potter. That is truly where, that was the first book where I got completely lost in a book, like lost. But before Harry Potter, they were like Biff and Chip books as a kid, Roald Dahl's books, everything that we kind of read at school. I got excited to go to school and try and move up a level, different colour stickers. But Goosebumps and Shivers were the books that I always read at night time because I like being scared, it was cool. But this Shivers book especially, I actually remember we went on a holiday. I'd have been maybe like 9 or 10 year old. We went on a holiday to, not Butlin, sorry, Skegness, in like a big campsite. It was my first ever holiday in a tent. We had this massive tent that had 3 rooms, and at night time I had a torch and I was reading this book, and I just lost so much sleep reading this book. And I saw it at Tesco and I was just like, wow. The nostalgia just smacked me in the face. I just can't help but smile looking at this book. Yeah, if you've read these books, that cover there is going to mean so much to so many people. And then this one, which I'd never read, Shriek Home Chicago. That was there as well. So I picked these both up, and I plan on reading these at some point just for the nostalgia hit. They're only like 120 pages. Crazy. This felt like a proper thick book to me as a kid, but now we'll blast through these this month, maybe next month. Next book. This is called Troll Slayer by, I don't even know who writes it, William King. The reason I picked this up, my brother-in-law, so Ellie's brother, He loves reading fantasy as well, and he gives me a lot of recommendations. He actually recommended that I read The Lies of Locke Lamora last year, and I loved that. And he recommended another book that I loved as well. I can't remember what it was. So he's not done me wrong yet. And he said to me that I should try reading the Warhammer books, but a Gottricks and Felix novel. So I believe Warhammer's got like 400 or something publications. It's stupid, it's massive. And I don't even know what it's about. But I said to him, like, I want books with all the magic in it. Wizards, ogres, dwarves, everything. He's like, you need to read Warhammer. And the Gottrick and Felix novels, I'm guessing, are maybe two characters that are followed through a series of books within the expansive, humongous world. And this was book one. It was literally just sat on a shelf, and I was like, Gottrick and Felix, I'm sure that's what Chris were on about. And then I Googled it, and it turns out this is book one in the Gottrick and Felix Warhammer books. So I picked it up. Yeah. For no class. I think I chucked like 50p in this pot, because that's all I had on me. The next one, The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Now, this is going to cause some controversy in it after the video I did about me reading J.K. Rowling's books. So, look, I'm not rage baiting here. I put a poll out on my Fable book club about a week ago, and this was one of the books that I've been desperate to read. I went to a Oxfam shop recently, and I saw this. On the expensive side, I might say, £1.99. And I know it's not expensive as far as a new book goes, because this book is immaculate. But for a charity shop, oi, you best know that I was toying with the idea of buying it or not, because I thought I might find it cheaper somewhere else. And this book won. So in April, the book club read on my Fable is going to be Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. If you don't know why I said this is controversial, because Robert Galbraith is a pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. I believe that when everyone started to hate J.K. Rowling, she thought, well, I'll fucking show you. I'm going to start writing crime books, and I'm going to pretend that I'm not J.K. Rowling and see what you think. And then obviously she started writing, and people were like, these books are absolutely insane, absolutely phenomenal. And people find out who it were, and they were like, these books are so shit. Oh, God, I'm a hypocrite. Oh, fuck. So, yeah, I'm excited to read this, because apparently the character, Strike, who's the main character in the book, is not only physically disabled, I don't know if he's got a prosthetic leg or just a bad leg, but he's also got PTSD and stuff from being in a war zone. So excited for this, because, as you all know, Harry Potter's my absolute favourite place to be. I just recently finished Prisoner of Azkaban. I'll probably talk to you about that soon, because I bought a Harry Potter book in here as well. So yeah, buzzing to read that next month. Really can't wait, because I'm really enjoying crime books again at the minute. Crime and thrillers. What else we got in here? So we've got this, The Light That Blinds Us by Andy Darcy Theo. And the reason I got that is because I went to W.H. Smith's yesterday and bought this. Now, look at this for a stinkingly fantastic offer. I'm tight as though I literally squeak when I walk. I don't spend much money. But I went into W.H. Smith's, because this were half price, but they had an offer on that if you bought Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which is the last book in the Hunger Games series, for half price, you got this book for free. This cost me no. They literally said, do you want this for no? And I was like, yeah, of course. The reason I got that is because I've just started reading the Hunger Games for the first time. Again, at the end of the video, I'll tell you about that. And I'm a sheep. And everyone were talking about the fact that they bought this book, and I was like, well, if everyone else is buying it, then I best buy it, Anna. And it made me feel right good. Plus, I got a deal, so it made me feel even better. No idea what this book's about. Me and Andy actually speak on social media. Andy sent me this book a long time ago. I just didn't know if I was going to get round to it, so I gave it away. I don't feel guilty for that. Some authors will send me books, and I always think to myself, like, I might never get round to reading that book, so surely it's better that I just send it to a charity shop or give it away. Once or twice a year, I meet up with followers at Meadowhall, which is like a big shopping centre near me, and I usually take a big bag of books, and I let people go in boot of my car and start digging books out, because, yeah, I'm all about giving back. Plus, I get a lot of books bought for me off my Amazon wishlist, so I'm certainly not going to go on Vinted and start selling books, because that's just cheeky shit, that, isn't it? So yeah, I'll probably read this though at some point. I'm not going to give it away this time, because I'm actually enjoying YA books, and this is a YA book. What have I got in here next? I think I've done all of them. Right, the last book, I got this. Look at that, that's fit in it. So this is The Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, but it's the Slytherin edition. I'm actually not a Slytherin, I am a Ravenclaw. But the reason I picked this up is because my daughter is currently rereading Harry Potter for the first time. She's watched all films and she's obsessed. and now we're trying to get through the books, and she is obsessed with Draco Malfoy. I keep trying to say to her, dude, you know this man, this is a 37-year-old man at least, like, stop being weird. She's like, no, but I like him here. I'm like, he don't fancy you, though. He's a Slytherin. You're not a Slytherin. You're an Hufflepuff, mate. He don't like you. But she won't stop obsessing over him. So I've just finished reading/listening to Prisoner of Azkaban, which, might I add, growing up, Prisoner of Azkaban was just like phenomenal. I always remember that being one of my favourite books. It's just fantastic. Like, the last time I listened or read Prisoner of Azkaban was years ago. So I got it from Libby, which, if you don't know what Libby is, it's an app that you can download and you can get free audiobooks from your library. You just have to put your library card in, link it up, and yeah, you get free books, which I think is fantastic, and it's the reason that I've started listening to a few more audiobooks. Not many, but a few more. Anyway, the introduction of Lupin, the story behind Sirius Black, the second chance at the end with Hermione and a watch, the Dementors, the backstory about Harry and his dad and stuff. Oh, that book is just phenomenal. So anyway, I love that story so much, it just made me want to get another copy of Goblet of Fire, because let me show you the copies that I've got and why at the minute I don't really read the books. I've got these, the Jim Kay illustrated versions of Harry Potter, but they're so heavy, literally like picking up a child. And I mean, they are beautiful, like they're absolutely stunning. Let me see if I can find you a bit of illustration. Oh, look at that. That is just fit. So you've got like nice little illustrations in there amongst the story. I mean, you can already see though how massive this book is and how, oh, that is just fit. The illustrations are absolutely phenomenal, and I will cherish these books forever. But they're not really like reading friendly. They're just massive, massive books that are going to sit on my shelf forever. Now, I will say though that when me and my daughter started going through the reading of this series, I've got cycling shorts on, by the way, because I'm going out on bike soon, so I'm trying to get rid of my boobs. That we started using them because my daughter struggles with reading, concentrating. So we got them books so that when we read them together, that book's perfect. But for me, on my own selfish adventure, I prefer a paperback and just to sit and read and annotate, because I want to annotate. Because when you read Harry Potter, how many times can I say because I just feel like it hits so much more different as an adult. So much more different. I don't know if that's grammatically correct, but anyway, we don't care. I think that's it. That's all the books that I've got recently, and I'm buzzing for it. Before we wrap this video up, started reading this. And when I say started reading it, I mean on both. That's when you know I'm committed. £4.99 on Amazon, were it? Or £5.49 plus the book. And I've started annotating as well, because there's actually some shit in here that I'm like, wow, I didn't expect it to be as dark as it is. Like, we're only, 74 pages in, and this is quite a dark book. And I know YA doesn't mean that the book's aimed at young adults. I spoke about this in a previous video. It just means that the characters within the books are young adults. But they are usually a little bit fluffier than, like, fantasy books or grimdark fantasy books. But this covers some dark themes, like the oppressive regime that they're under, the neglect she suffered by her mum, the fact that Katniss is having to step up at 16 years old and basically be the parent to the family, the fact that society is actually watching, or at least people that live in the capital are watching these people fight for their lives and getting joy out of it, putting it on TV, you know, parading them around, doing TV interviews. It's just such a wild, wild concept. I can see already 74 pages into this book that so many books since then have taken a lot of inspiration from this series, which, yeah, fair play. I understand that. So far, I'm loving it. I'm not into the games yet. As I said, I am literally just... She's come out and she's been like... She's done something with 3 fingers, it says. She said, like, everyone went quiet and they all licked the fingers off my eye and then stuck them up in air. And then... I don't know if they actually whistled, but she said something about a bird. But they were talking about these mockingjays and how the government had set them out into public and they could listen to human interactions, and then they'd go back to the capital and snitch on them all and be like, oi, these are planning an uprising. So then government would take them and, I don't know, put them in the chokey with Miss Trunchbull or something. Just loads of cool things. I mean, I've never seen the film, so I had no ideas what to expect with this, but it's just really cool. So she's gone out and she's been like, oh, my sister's not doing this, I'll do it for him, I'll volunteer. And everyone's like, whoa, this bitch is crazy. So she's now gone on this mad mission in a car for the first time, on a train for the first time. She's now eating all sorts of scran that she's never had before, and she's like, this shit tastes good. But obviously it's going to kick off soon. She's got this bladdered man. If you're from America, in England, bladdered means rate drunk. Rate drunk means they've had too much alcohol. So she's got this bladdered man, and he's like all over the place, but he's won Hunger Games before, and she's like, dude, I need you to stay sober. Like, my only chance of getting through this thing is if you stay sober, get me some sponsors, and then I might have a chance of getting better stuff. Even one of my favourite books last year, Dungeon Crawler Call, like, they've got sponsors and stuff in that. They make a TV show out of it. But because I'd never read Hunger Games, when I was reading Dungeon Crawler Call, I weren't like, oh, this is very Hunger Gamesy. But it is. So even Matt Dinnerman's took inspiration from Hunger Games. How many other people took inspiration from this series? Red Rising, I'm told, very similar. What's her name? Suzanne Collins. What a lass. You, like, set the standard. I'm so excited for this. Like I said, I've got this. I've got the other 2 books in the series, which are called what? Catching Fire and Mockingjay. And then I believe, unless you correct me here, I believe then that I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then this new book that I've got here called Summit of the Reaping, which is apparently the story of this bladdered bloke in here. I'm just excited. That's everything that I've done recently. I don't think I've got else to talk to you about. I just woke up really early this morning. I had a lot of energy, and I wanted to come and talk to you lot. I'm not really going to edit this video either, so all the stuttering and stuff like that you're going to have today, because just real, isn't it? This is real life. Look, I'm buzzing to read these books, and I just hope you're buzzing that I'm buzzing. If you've not already subscribed, as I said before, just do it. It makes me feel right good about myself. I'm right happy that everyone else has subscribed. I want to say a massive thank you to the reception I got for the video that I did on why I still read problematic authors. I love you all so much, and I'm so happy that you're open to critical thinking and not trying to just paint everyone with a morally shit paintbrush just because they don't feel the way that you feel. I love you. What should I do now? I said to you in the last video, I'm going to finish off with a song, so I will. I'm going to sing Arthur, because I sang Arthur yesterday on my Instagram stories, and it made everyone feel happy. So, every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet can have a different point of view. So I said, hey, hey, what a wonderful time to play. I don't know words, by the way. You get to learn and walk and play and get along with each other. To listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of your streets. It's a simple message, and it comes from your heart. Believe in yourself, and that's the way to start. And I said, hey, hey, what a wonderful time to play. We'll fast forward next bit, and then we'll just go, hey, DW. Hopefully, that's gives you the pick-me-up that you need for Friday. Sorry, this car's just gone bombing past here outside my house, and there's a park there. You silly idiot. Ooh. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying, so I'm going to go now. I'll see you in a bit. I love you loads. Bye, Felicia.